Switch policies and profiles. If you remember on our previous video, we configured the interface policy group, and finally the interface profile. Well, now that we configure the interfaces, we need to enable them. And the way that we do that is by attaching the interface policy group onto the switch profile. And yes, I know it's a lot of attaching, a lot of connecting, a lot of creating objects, but as soon as you understand the order of operation, it's gonna be very easy for you to build this, okay? Let's recap. First thing you do, interface policy. Second thing you do is you create a policy group and add those policy objects, right? So you created the objects, now you have to group them. Interface policy group. And finally, you attach the policy group onto the interface profile. Well, now that we have the interface profile, so you see object group profile. Now that we have the interface profile built, which we did on our previous video, we have to attach the interface profile onto the switch profile. And this is how we attach that interface profile into the leaf itself. So the ports are going to be enabled in this particular configuration setup based on your interface profile. So the interface profile gets attached to the switch profile. And this is how we enable that end to end. So I forgot to mention on our previous video, we configure a VPC, we configure a port channel. If you need just to configure a simple interface, not a port group, not a port channel, not a VPC, it's going to be an access port, which is basically we all know. And the access port, you find that attribute inside the policy group, you just select type to be an access. When you right click the interface profile, when you're about to create the interface profile, just select to be an access port. Let me show you right away, and then we'll continue onto building that switch profile and attaching our existing interface profile. So once we create that switch profile, we'll attach the interface profile, and then we should have connectivity on those two port channels. So on the virtual port channel as well as the port channel. Okay, so now that I am in the APIC, let's go into Fabric, access policies, and here we are with the switch policies. Before that, I want to show you what I was talking not long ago. If we want to make an access port, meaning that it's not a port channel nor a VPC, we just build a policy group. And in this case, it's going to be an access port policy group, which is an individual interface. But it's basically the same idea, the same concept. You want to make a port channel, you do a port channel. You want to do a VPC, you do a VPC. So now that you remember previous video, we build the policy groups, we build the profiles. Now we have to attach them onto the switch themselves. So then the ports are enabled. So we're going to go into switch policies. And then we got the same, policy group options. But in this case, it's regarding the switch behavior itself. The difference between the interface profile and the switch profile is that the interface is actually relevant to our end device, the device that is connected. Well, I would say the device that you're about to connect into the leaf. And regarding the switch profiles, yes, there's some general options that you can enable. I personally haven't ran into a scenario where I need to enable those devices. But if you need bidirectional forward detection, you want to do IPv4 on it, you can do BFD, you can attach, if you want to do 802.1x authentication on it, you can do it this way. But in this case, let's just focus on attaching those profiles. So first of all, we got to do switch profile, right? So we go switch policies, switch profile, right click, create leaf profile. And our fourth scenario was a VPC between leaf 101 and leaf 102. Let's go ahead and type leaf 101 and leaf 102. And that will tell me that this leaf profile attaches a leaf 101 and 102. So anything that I attach to this particular profile is going to enable the interfaces on both. So let's say I have interface 1, which has the interface selector of 1/1. If I attach this under this switch profile, it's going to enable 1/1 here and 1/1 here, depending on the personality of the policy group. In this case, it's a VPC. So it will basically enable 1/1 and 1/1 on both 101 and 102 as a VPC. And now we build a name. Next. Now we're going to select those leaf switches. In this case, let's label it leaf 101. And let's find our leaf 101 here. Let's click it. Update. And there's one way. You can click both of them on the same block, or you can just add them individually. Personally, I like to add them individually. And we go here. 102. Done. So now we click next, and it's already asking us, you have interface profiles. Do you want to attach them onto the switch policies? Let's not select anything. Let's do it after, okay? So now we got leaf 101 and 102. Now we need one more profile because remember we have a port channel only going to leaf 101. So let's go ahead and right click, leaf profile, leaf 101, because I am only going to select leaf 101 for this, 101. And let's go ahead and find leaf 101. Okay, and next. And again, it's asking if you want to attach that. Nope, not yet. Okay, so now we got the two leaves. We got a single profile for leaf 101, and then another profile that adds both 101 and 102. So remember our first interface profile, which is attached to the interface policy group. This interface policy group is enabled as a VPC. So if we go here, it's a VPC, meaning that this will be attached into the switch leaf profile of 101 and 102 because we want to build a VPC between leaf 1 and leaf 2. You remember our slide? Let me bring it back. Yes, so we want to do a VPC, meaning that I need to select the leaf 1, and by the way, it should be 101 and 102, but you get the idea. Leaf 1 and leaf 2, both on interface 101. So once I attach my interface profile onto the switch profile that we just created, it's just going to enable 1.1 and 1.1 on both leaves as a VPC. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it. Okay, so let's go ahead and click my new leaf profile, includes leaf 101 and 102, and we're going to attach the interface selector profile that we built on our previous video. In this case, it's going to be interface 1, which is the VPC. Select, and let's find that interface 1, submit, and voila, that's it. Once we have that, we should have the interface enabled as an VPC, and we should be connecting those fiber uplinks SFPs to it. Let's do the same for interface 2, which only grabs port 1 and 2 for switch 101 only. So we want to attach and enable a port channel 1 and 2 only in leaf 101. Remember, if we attach this into this, it's not going to work because we already have another interface selector already assigned with 1.1. So we don't want to select this here. We want to select it here. Okay. Guess what? I am already doing a VPC, which means that I am selecting on this particular interface 1.1. So I cannot reuse it because it's already assigned to the VPC. So you know what? Let's go ahead and fix this real quick. Let's select module 1 from port 1. So you can actually move the ports on the fly. So if I double click the actual interface, I'm going to say from module 1, I am going to select port 2 because it's not in use. And then from to module 1, port 2. So it's a single port. Okay. But in this case, it's a port channel. So let's select port 3. So we are, instead of selecting 101 to 102, we now are going to select 102 to 103. Okay. So we did that change on the fly. Press submit, submit. Now I am selecting 1.2 to 1.3. Let's go ahead and attach this here. And interface 2, submit. And there you go. How do you know that it's working? Let's go ahead real quick into our inventory, expand pot 1, leaf 101, interfaces, and let's see what we got. We should have a VPC. Remember, domain 1, we did that on our previous video. We expand that, and this is an auto-generated VPC ID, interface ID. So the VPC ID and interface itself is 684. So if we take a closer look at it, look at that. Interface 1, that's our interface profile attached to the policy group of interface 1. So we select that. And our only port into the port channel is Ethernet 1.1. If we take a look at that, it's basically up in discovery because nothing is connected. But we should have it ready to go. Another way of checking and making sure that I do have the port channel, or in this case, the VPC enabled, I can go into the APEC CLI. So let's open the SSH session to my APEC. Let me go ahead and the IP is 28, which is my management IP. We'll select here, open, and let me log in. Same credentials as my web interface. There we go. So we are logged in. Show VPC map will show me the active VPC interfaces. And let's see, and voila. So now we have the port channel ID, the interface. And by the way, this is a little bit unformatted. So let me go ahead real quick and change the size so it can better format. Let me do it one more time. There you go. Much better. Okay, so we got the port channel name, which is my policy group. Remember that policy group that we attached to interface 1? Now I have the domain, which we built on our previous video, and we got the VPC peer IPs. In this case, those are my leaf IPs. Leaf 101 and leaf 102. Ports 11 and 11 are enabled for the same VPC 684. 684 is an arbitrary number auto-generated by the ACI fabric. So ports 101, 101 on leaf 1 and leaf 2. Okay, so if we show port channel, in this case, we have to select the leaf because we want to see the port channel on the particular leaf. In this case, we attach the port channel to leaf 101. So let's go ahead and type leaf 101. And there you go. Let's press enter. And voila, because we selected 101, the VPC is still a port channel. So it's going to be shown as the VPC, port channel 101. And remember the second interface profile, which interface 2 is only on leaf 101, port channel 2, interfaces 2 and 3. And there you have it. This is how we do interfaces in a nutshell, or how we enable interfaces and attach them to our switches. So now we can definitely go ahead and connect that end device, but we still have work to do. We have to enable the VLAN. We have to allow the traffic through that interface. So we're going to take a look at that in our next video. Okay, everyone. In our next video, we're going to take a look at the fabric domains and VLAN pools. Thank you for watching.